Hello and welcome to my acrylic gel medium transfer tutorial. This fun technique only requires a few materials. Either acrylic gloss gel medium or Mod Podge will do, some magazines, and a brush, a foam brush preferable. First, you'll need to find the image that you wish to transfer. Then you will brush on some acrylic gel medium. When doing this kind of transfer, you will need to apply 5 to 10 layers of the acrylic gel medium. So I recommend that you work with many different images at the same time so that you can go back and forth between all of them. I also recommend that you give yourself a full day to apply these layers. Come and go between them, adding a layer whenever you notice that a layer is dry. You'll know that it's dry when it becomes clear and is no longer white. Then, make sure you let your acrylic gel medium dry overnight. A full 24 hours of drying is recommended. Alright, it is now the next day and my acrylic gel medium is completely dry, so I want to show you how the image transfer works. You'll need a sponge and some clean water. I'm using cool water. And I'm going to rub the back, the side that I did not put the acrylic gel medium on. I'm going to rub it with a wet sponge. Now, be gentle as you do this, because if you rub too hard, you can actually rub the entire image right off of the gel medium. But if you do this correctly, and if the magazine image transferred well, you'll see that the paper will rub off and you'll be left with this image on the transparent gel medium. Now, the thicker you applied the gel medium, the thicker sheet you'll be left with. So this one here, I applied 10 layers to, and this is a really nice, crisp transfer. This image came from a Vogue magazine. I do think some magazine pages work better for transfers than others. Vogue works very well in my opinion. Alright, now here is another one. I only applied 5 layers of gel medium to this piece, and you can see that it's wrinkling more. Same with this one here. There's only 5 layers on this one, and it's very delicate and thin in comparison to the first one. So it wrinkles more, and you can see that some of the color even rubbed away when I used the sponge. Now, when you're finished rubbing away all of the paper off the back of the gel medium, you're going to need to let the gel medium dry again. Hanging it and letting it line dry is best because it will stick to anything it touches when it's wet. Then, once your transfer is dry, you can trim it in any way that you want, and you can begin to create a mixed media work of art with it. You can layer the images, you can paint under the images, you can paint on top of the images. It's really up to you. I'm going to show you with mine how I add a watercolor background and then print with some markers on top of it. As I created this mixed media painting, I actually did a couple of fun things. I splatter painted, as you can see here, just by tapping the paintbrush. And then I also took a sheet of bubble wrap and I colored it with some washable markers. And then I placed that bubble wrap with the marker side down onto my paper to just print some of that texture. Next, I want to show you one more example. Here I created a watercolor background, and then while the watercolor paint was still wet on the paper, I put the acrylic gel transfer on top of it. This allowed it to dry with the acrylic gel sticking to the paper. At first it was movable and I could adjust it, and I could rub all the air bubbles out by pressing from the center out to the sides, and then as that watercolor paint dried on the paper, the acrylic gel stuck down to it as well. I hope you're now feeling inspired to try this technique yourself for your next mixed media project. Leave me a comment below and let me know how it goes for you, along with any questions you may have. And of course, please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more art videos and demonstrations.